some of you guys have already seen the notification from Woj and Shams, but if you haven't already, Adrian Griffin was let go of his head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. They were 30-13 at the time, second best team in the Eastern Conference. Have two all-star starters in Dame and Giannis, but the Bucks front office felt as if that team was not ready for them to compete long-term with that man. And after giving him a 4-year contract, letting go of Mike Budenholzer back in after the first round last year and firing him and bringing this guy in, they fired him halfway through his season. And a lot of people are not happy about it. A lot of people are not happy about it. And to be honest with you, bro, like I said, man, how do I feel about it? Honestly, when I saw the report, I felt as if the Bucks, it felt like a move that you don't really want to see that happen. Honestly, I don't want to see that happen. You look at a guy who just got the opportunity to coach. Now, did the Bucks look like a team that was underperforming? Yes, they had 30 wins. But if you looked at this team and saw how they performed against lower level talent, what they're doing on offense, their shakiness on defense, this team definitely had issues and concerns going forward that were going to plague them going into the playoffs. So do I think all of the emphasis is on the coach? No. But I don't really necessarily feel like firing your coach midway through the season is enough to gauge a responsible action to determine what the team could do long term. Because I view it like this. Yeah, the team is going through some trials and tribulations. Like, yeah, you have to work those kinks out. It has to happen. And it reminds me of, like, I remember it happened to David Blatt, I believe, with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, with David Blatt, he at least had a full season and they went to the finals. Now, you go into the 2016 season and, they didn't really perform to the expectations. They were still tripping. And then they let go of him and let Ty Lue coach the team and they won a championship. So, necessarily, yeah. But my problem is this, and I think a lot of people are missing this situation with the firing of Adrian Griffin. They had guys on the roster already, like on the coaching staff. I believe they had Terry Stotts at one point. And if you remember, I need to pull this up. According to The Athletic, I'm reading it right here for y'all, there was an incident between Stotts and Griffin at shoot-around on Tuesday in Oklahoma City. Griffin reportedly called the team together for a huddle to close out the shoot-around ahead of the preseason game. And he told the coaches in the huddle that he wanted to have a separate huddle with them once it broke. Once that huddle ended, Stotts apparently walked away from the coaches and started talking to Dame and Giannis. And then they started yelling, and there was reports of the entire team having to break them up. Boom, 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 boom. Terry Stotts broke. He stepped down. So the Bucks committed to this guy long-term. They committed to this guy long-term, and I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think it's a very shaky situation, and the guy they brought in, Mr. Doc Rivers, who for the love of God cannot, he just can't get himself out of NBA coaching job positions. He's just good at it, man. He knows what to do. He legit tells him, hey, man, yeah, I've blown a bunch of leads with a bunch of different teams, but you know what? Give me a job. And they give him a job. As simple as that. I don't know what he does. It's just that simple. That's simple for him. No, but on a serious note, Doc Rivers coaching this team, I don't think this is the nail in the coffin for the Bucks. I think the only thing is this is a win now season. There's no excuses. You fire your coach midway through the season. You bring in Doc Rivers, who was a guy that was helping Adrian Griffin at one point during the season. And now you're in a situation where you're paying 3 different coaches, Doc Rivers, Adrian Griffin, and Mike Budenholzer was still on the contract. So, yeah, man. I just feel as if, like, the Bucks bringing in Doc Rivers, I necessarily don't think it's the end of the world. I do think that a lot of times with Doc Rivers, his coaching adjustments, especially in situations where he needs to adjust, he's struggled in the area. He's been better in previous seasons. But the Bucks are just an interesting situation at this very moment. As you can see, Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't want Nick Nurse early on in the season, and Nick Nurse is the head coach for the Philadelphia 76ers. Doc Rivers is the former coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. There is a whole bunch of different ties to the Bucks and the Sixers at this very moment. Look, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do think that the Bucks firing your head coach midway through the season, there's big expectations on this team. So if you don't win and you don't succeed after bringing Dame, firing your coach, bringing in Doc Rivers, I expect him to be active in the trade deadline. Hey, man, you already seen how Giannis is very, very adamant on trying to make the best out of his situation and make moves. So, look, bro, I'll tell you right now, that man, he will put pressure on that front office. He'll put pressure on them. So, yeah, bro, I'm gonna leave it on that. Let's get into the next topic, bro. So, yeah, the